Well, now, it seems that everywhere you look these days, Dirk, you know this, you see smart things, right? Yes, you see smart things, you see smartphones.
Unless we aren't looking at each other.
That's right. You see smart factories, you see smart cities, right?
Yep.
Every once in a while you see a smart publisher. Again, not around here
Not around
often,
here,
but sometimes, every once in a while, you get lucky. Just because it's connected doesn't mean it's smart, is the name of the latest article from QD's prolific contributing editor, Ryan Day. Now, if you know Ryan, you know that on occasion, just on the rarest of occasions, he gets the smallest of burrs under his saddle about something. Well, lucky for us, this is one of those times because we can enjoy his discomfort and his perspective. As I mentioned a moment ago, there are a lot of connected devices in the world. Now, when I first heard the phrase Internet of Things, for instance, a couple years ago, I remember wondering, well, how could a thing be connected to the internet? Right? I mean, just what kind of things are these anyway, right? I mean, sounds kind of scary. Well, the short answer is that these things are everything. I mean, today it's everything, almost literally. As Ryan points out in his article, that means products like the Smalt, a table centerpiece that not only acts as a salt shaker, but also monitors your sodium intake. In addition to that, the Smalt is built as a conversation starter, probably offering such knee slappers as, what are you trying to do? Give yourself a heart attack? Or, hey Lot, miss your wife much? That little Old Testament humor there.
Old Testament humor.
Going way back.
There we go.
The early parts of the Bible. Hey Lot, miss your wife much? Salt, get it?
Salt, yeah.
I got to make sure everybody gets this.
But you
jokes.
forgot to mention that it actually communicates to your phone.
It does, that's right. Well, we're going to get to that
or your
because
wife's
this is important. Well, next, there is what's known as the Happy Fork.
Oh my gosh.
This little beauty is an electronic fork that, quote, helps you monitor and track your eating habits. It also alerts you with the help of indicator lights and gentle vibrations when you're eating too fast. But if you're like me and you eat most of your meals with your hands, I guess you're out of luck, right? I mean,
I just ignore those vibrations. I don't care. I don't care.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Shovel it in your mouth.
Name over here. It goes for his meals. But yeah, I don't know how that would work if you don't use a fork. But the next one is if your kids just won't brush their teeth, you might consider the augmented reality magic toothbrush. That's right. This device tracks the length and quality of brushing time by analyzing the toothbrush's position in the mouth and the brushing movements the user is choosing. Okay,
sounds good.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, used in combination with a cell phone or a tablet camera, the magic toothbrush fosters engagement with brushing by employing all sorts of fun and weird little image overlays for the kid to see as she or he is brushing away. It's kind of like an Instagram filter, but with teeth, which is actually kind of scary to think about it. I understand. If that would really be all that great. So all these products, and many more are in homes right now, or they're grinding their way through R&D or sales and marketing protocols. The question Ryan asks is, why? I mean, is there really a screaming need on the market for these types of products? I mean, as he writes in the article subhead, because we can is not a solid foundation for product development. You can see it right there. And there's actually another issue here, one that's I think is pretty scary, and that's the issue of cybersecurity. I mean, all these connected devices, many of which, as we saw, maybe are extraneous at best, are just increasing our risks of exposure online. I mean, sure, it's funny when your salt shaker yells at you, your fork starts vibrating during that third plate of pasta, or your kid's toothbrush says, hey, you missed a spot. But all of those reminders are based on what? They're based on data, right? They're based on information that's acquired and tracked. And this is data about those of us that use these devices, along with products such as Fitbits, which record a lot of information about their users. I mean, there's legitimate concerns about bad actors potentially accessing so much of our personal information, and that's something that I'm certainly concerned about. I mean, think about it. I mean, you know, there's a couple of different ways of looking at this. Some people think this is overblown, and that this whole idea about, well, it has all this data on you. Well, there's so much data. How is any one person's data going to be really used and found? But the data's out there. It's out there to be hacked, to be obtained in some way. Privacy concerns are a concern. I mean, we've all heard the thing about, you know, you put a little piece of tape over your camera.
Over your
device,
camera, right. Yeah.
I mean, there's legitimate concerns. Real people who are in these fields are saying, well, you know, these are smart things you should, you know, be aware of, and be careful about your habits. Don't leave so many digital footprints maybe online. So I am of two minds of this. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm kind of like, well, it's a legitimate concern. I'm not that worried about it because the mountain of data out there, I'm like, who's going to know or even find me? My little bit of it out there, right? But it could be found. I mean, hacks happen. You know, we've seen it in many areas. So, I mean, how do you think of it? What do you feel about that?
You know, I guess I don't worry about it. And it's interesting because we're going to have a guest coming up here in a couple of minutes who's actually going to be talking about cybersecurity. Yeah. I think the real danger, and maybe we can talk to Martin about this, is the data mining aspect. So by itself, does anybody really care about your salt intake?
Right.
Well, if somebody also had access to your medical records,
right,
and they can start doing some, gee, this guy seems to be eating a lot. I can tell from his happy fork. And his smalt keeps saying this guy, you know, drinks salt from the salt shaker. And hey, look at that. Look at his medical records. Looks like this guy might have some heart problems. Hey, maybe we're not going to sell him insurance.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, if all that data can be aggregated, and data mining is a big thing, and they can start connecting these pieces, maybe there's some implication. We talked about this last week. Maybe there is some implications for how this data might be used by not necessarily criminals, but by insurance companies. Well, I know some people don't draw the distinction there, but you know what I'm saying is, I mean, some ethical issues there. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we're being a little overly dramatic here. I don't know. But you know, if so, you can maybe go ahead and take our advice with a grain of salt.
Oh, thank you.
I had to.
Thank you.
I had to do it. Take our advice with a grain of salt. Do you see what I did there? I can explain that joke.
No, don't.
If you feel like
you have to
out there.
explain it. All right.